All right, we are here at Fantastic Fest with the Shelby Oaks gang. Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much.
It's nice to see you actually here safe and sound. That makes me feel good.
I'm still missing. You just, this is all an illusion.
It was a dream. We dreamed you up. So this is really cool because as I understand it, this is a bit of a full circle moment. Shelby Oaks in some ways was kind of born at Fantastic Fest. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, I came here just, in 2019. I wanted to see movies and I got to see a ton of films. And I went to see the boxing matches they do. And Gigi Saul Guerrero, who's a friend, was in there just kicking the crap out of another person.
Pummeling, yes.
Yes, and winning for sure. And I bumped into a producer, Aaron Kuntz, who's Austin as well. And we kind of just talked about movies that we had seen at the festival. I didn't want to kind of look like I was trying to, sell myself or try to get, like you can always tell when someone wants something out of you. So we just talked about movies. And then eventually he opened the door and was like, are you working on anything? And I was like, right in there. And I pitched Shelby here. And 6 years later, we're bringing it home. So.
Set the scene for us a little bit. Is this in the highball? Because I feel like that's where a lot of these conversations take place. Where were you? At the debates, ringside at the boxing
ringside.
match? As Gigi is just...
Yes. So she's literally kicking ass right there. And and it's loud. And I think Aaron was a little drunk, which I was like, this is going to help me. This is
As
good.
you're just bringing him more drinks? Yeah.
Yes. I also have other scripts, Aaron. I have mini scripts. Drink more. No, it was great. It was, and then and we kept talking after that, because I thought to myself, okay, how many times does somebody pitch to him? This is probably going to go nowhere, but it didn't, and we just kept talking. And even though COVID happened a few months later, we kept doing Zooms, and it just kept evolving.
That's amazing. As a big sister and someone who enjoys found footage horror, but gets horrible motion sickness when watching found footage horror, I really appreciate that you guys kind of subverted some expectations because we go in, it starts out as one thing, and then you just kind of flip the script and also the format and everything, which is kind of cool. Was that kind of part of the appeal when you guys were coming on for this project?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, honestly, there was a lot of question marks when I came on about what the project was. It was the COVID times, filmmaking was sort of at a standstill. I remember being very intrigued. I got the sides for all the Paranormal Paranoids and just auditioned and then got a call back. And I remember, I don't know if you even remember this, but Chris had clearly done his research about me and took the time to look me up, and he knew past work I had done and some of the writing work I've also done, and that just meant that doesn't happen for an actor. And there was such a moment of feeling seen by him that was really touching. But the found footage element was really appealing. We just didn't even. Yeah, it was such a ride. We just kind of did it. Yeah, we just the first filming was Chris taking us to a cabin in the woods. It was me and the other actors and Chris, and that was it. And I remember it was falling apart. I don't even know if it was totally safe to be in and around this abandoned cabin. And he was like, it'll be fine, come on in. Very tall man, leading you into the woods. You're like, at least there's other actors here, I guess. We can take them maybe if we need to.
Everything that you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, right. It was very there's definitely a horror movie in there of desperate actor wants to be in movie, follows director into the abyss. But yeah, I mean, Chris was just amazing. And he gave us so much room as actors to play and explore. And I just feel so grateful that I, have been along for the journey. And I feel like both Chris and I have grown up kind of with this film. And I feel so grateful to be a part of it.
It's amazing. In the performances, you guys you're going through it. You're really absolutely 100% going through it. Where do you tap? You very much have this kind of mama bear energy as a big sister, which I really appreciate because I have a little blonde sister actually. So this is kind of cool to see. But what do you tap into to kind of convey that absolute mama bear protective energy that just it comes across on the screen so intensely?
I have a sister
you
as
go.
well.
I knew it. I knew it.
So it's pretty easy. I have an older sister as well who had a bit of a rocky youth. So I think I drew on some of that, some of worry, when you're worrying about somebody all the time, that you have to develop kind of a mama bear thing, or you have to go crazy, I guess. So yeah, I drew on that a lot, and I just try to, with all my roles, I try to think about a lot. I play a lot of loss, but I try not to play the loss. I try to play the love.
God damn, that was a really good quote. Because that's honestly what it feels like. I think that's why it affected me so much, again, as a sister, because it was the love that I'm feeling. So it was you feel the tragedy of it, but it's because it's rooted in the love that you clearly have for this sister, that you're like, you will go to the fucking ends of the earth, literally, to find this girl. And it's like sometimes making decisions where I don't think you would make that decision normally, but because you're like, well, I have to do it for my sister, you do it. So then it makes sense for the character.
I think totally. I mean, once you go down that road, and if you think someone you love is in danger, you'll do any number of crazy things to get to that person.
John Wick it. You just gonna John Wick it.
100%.
Let's go back to paranormal paranoids. Can you say that 5 times fast? Because I for sure can't.
Paranormal Paranoids. Yeah, no.
That's a one and done.
There's even a joke in the movie about why do we pick such a hard name? There's a part where she can't say it right, just because, yeah.
It's very catchy. It's not super friendly to the mouth.
Not at all.
As I was saying it, I realized. I don't want to ruin any of the illusion or the magic, but I rabbit holed really hard on this. I love world building, and I was so fascinated by how this was set up. Could talk about the paranormal paranoids and the investigation. And these videos are several years old.
Yeah.
And there's the accounts that go back on the internet from several years ago. And I was deep diving into that, and it kind of starts to blend a little bit. And I was like, wait, hold on. What is actually happening? What's real and what's not?
That's right. So the initial inspiration for the ARG was I saw Transformers in 2007 in the theater, and I was like, cool movie, really fun. But there was a trailer for something called Cloverfield that played before that movie. And it was just a Statue of Liberty head that fell out of the sky and landed in the streets of New York, and then it cut to black. And I remember in, like 2007 being like, what is that? And going online and going to the old IMDb message boards and like just searching through everything. And there was already all this stuff online. There were like news reports from Japan about something that fell from the sky. And it felt so unique and so cool to me that a film could do that. And I thought if we could do that even on a small scale, if we could sort of seed these videos into the internet, so that when the film did come out, people would look like, oh, this really was there like 4 or 5 years ago. And the funniest, craziest thing started happening was like when we first started doing these videos, we didn't announce our names or any involvement of any kind. And I saw comments that were like, oh, I think I remember them. And I was like, no, you fucking don't. I made this up. This is fiction. But it actually kind of worked, and was really exciting to be able to basically kind of create our own IP in a way, and then kind of swoop in and be like, we've acquired the rights to the paranormal I was like, I wrote that. We didn't acquire shit. But no, I mean, just I love the idea of having all of this research there. And I think it stems all the way back to when my mom would take me to the library when I was a kid, and she would show me the microfiche machines, and we went and like looked at old like Roswell UFO landings and things from the 40s to see how people were freaking out about flying saucers. And so it was really just like, I've always loved this idea of like, searching deep dives of information. Like you said, you went on a deep dive, and we're going to have a lot more stuff coming up very soon for people to do too, that I think will be really exciting.
You guys had me for a hot second, though, because I almost came into this interview and like, oh, wow, you really you exactly recreated these videos. And I was like, wait, hold on. And then I was like, oh my God, like that was really good.
Well, we shot it with gear from the era. It takes place, that part of the film takes place in 2008. And, I used a camcorder and mini DV tapes that I had at that time from when I was a teenager, and edited on iMovie, and all of the gear was completely authentic. We didn't mic up the actors even. We had like an onboard mic because we just wanted it to feel like those sort of amateur days of early YouTube where people were figuring out their voices and discovering they could do this kind of thing.
No, very cool. I mean, I wasn't like, I remember that show, but I I think you're going to have a lot more people coming out of the woodwork talking about their nostalgia for the show that never fucking existed.
One of the really strange things is I would be like, people would find my like Instagram and then message me like, "Are you okay?" Like, "I'm really worried. Like, you're missing, but you're not." And then like people kind of put together because I have like an IMBD and all that, but they're like, "Oh wait, she's okay." But yeah, I would have to like message Erin. I'm like, I don't respond, right? Like, what do I do? Do I engage?
Do not engage. You keep it going for like 4 years.
My Instagram goes dark.
We kind of touched upon how a lot of the performances are rooted in love. Chris, this story as a whole, you've been very open about talking about your very religious upbringing, and you had a sister that you were estranged from some time, and kind of your journey back to your sister. And this feels a bit like a love letter to that. Can you speak on that a bit?
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. When I was 12, my sister was what's called disfellowshipped. When you're raised Jehovah's Witness, they practice shunning and excommunication. And so, yeah, from age 12, for maybe like another 15 years or so, I never saw my sister again. I spoke to her twice for about 15 years, once after 9/11 because she was scared and she called us, and then when my grandma died, and that was it. And so the thing that the Jehovah's Witnesses say about someone who's disfellowshipped is they say that they are spiritually dead. And it's a strange term because you are supposed to view that person as dead because the Jehovah's Witnesses put spirituality ahead of everything else. And so you don't acknowledge the person's existence. Even if they live in your house, you don't eat meals together. Hello, goodbye, nothing. No texts, no emails. And so as a 12-year-old kid being told your sister is dead, knowing that she's alive is a very strange feeling that you can't really quantify. It makes no sense to you when you're a kid. And as I was working on this movie, I realized, oh, of course I put that in there. Like, of course that's in there. And so it came naturally.
But it's done in a nice way. Has your sister seen the movie?
She has. Yeah, no. And by the way, she's literally babysitting my kids right now.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, totally. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, no, it's been really exciting for her. And, she's been one of my biggest supporters.
I would be remiss not to mention the incredible success that you guys have had on Kickstarter with this. You're breaking records, like the highest funded horror film of all time. You were actually reluctant to do that in the first place, right?
Yeah, no, I've never, I've been on YouTube for 16 years and I had never asked my subscribers for anything, and I didn't really want to be that guy. But also, when you fulfill rewards, when you promise things, there's a lot of stress that comes with that, and physical rewards, and you want to make sure everybody gets the things they were promised. And that was very, very important to me. First and foremost, was that if I'm gonna sign 100 posters, I'm gonna sign them. If we're gonna do the T-shirts, we just did a week of backer screenings in LA, Austin, New York, and Cleveland, and I traveled all over, and I met every single person who came, and it was wonderful and super inspiring. But I think I really just wanted to make sure that the people who helped us get this movie made felt that they were involved in something that made them feel like they were in the process of making the movie. So we would post behind the scenes videos while we were shooting it so people could see what it was like to be on an indie film set. And I had a lot of people tell me in person that it was like a little mini film school for them to kind of see what it is actually like to make a movie from the ground up without a safety net and just go out there and do it.
That was awesome. And I've seen some of the behind the scenes things that you guys were filming along the way, which was very cool. I would have freaked out also if I was when you're going to film school, that's the things that you're hungry for. And I know you're big on physical media and special features, and that is the ultimate special feature, honestly.
Our Blu-ray is going to be sick. It's double disc, commentaries, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Amazing. Did you all feel kind of a pressure as well, knowing that you had this insane, record-breaking kind of backing, and to kind of want to be transparent and share those kinds of things with the backers? Or was it kind of maybe refreshing in a way to kind of get to do that? Because that's not the norm.
Oh, yeah. I loved it. Going from the early days of walking into the woods to an abandoned cabin to I just feel this, I always say Shelby Oaks is the little indie film that could, from where we started, Aaron, one of the producers, was literally like banging on a door and I was reacting to it. And now that's the opening of the trailer. Like that is insane. like it was literally me alone in a bedroom doing my own hair and makeup, like wearing my own clothes. And like, I just feel like it's been so wild I've just trying to hold on and enjoy every moment because it just feels like this is like, isn't something that always happens. And like, I'm just, like the Kickstarter blowing up and then like Neon signing on and like working with Camille. And like, I think Chris and I had a moment when we were going back for principal photography and he kind of came over and was like, so this is kind of wild, right? We aren't in the cabin anymore, Sarah. So yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
I'll just say that the collaborative spirit of it in nature has been really amazing. And that's my favorite kind of thing to work on. And I remember a couple of days, a couple of the backers came and they were on set and, you met them and they were watching and they were so cool and enthusiastic. And it just really felt like we were making something that people cared about and were really excited about. And that doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
Amazing. That list of backers is very long, and we got Mike Flanagan backing, and of course Aaron B. Kuntz in Paper Street Pictures. But congratulations, you guys! This is amazing. I'm excited for it to be out in the world, and for so many people to talk about how big of fans they were growing up of Paranormal Paranoids. All right, thank you.
Thank you.